In a digital world, it's so easy to see what other people are doing, want what they have, and compare. How do you learn from others and strive to achieve without getting into dangerous comparison? You got to check your jealousy. And you're like, I'm not jealous. So here's the thing. A lot of us aren't necessarily like, we don't necessarily classify ourselves as jealous or envious, but we absolutely are competitive. And when you're competitive, it is only natural that you're going to look in the next lane to determine how much faster you need to go. Now, oftentimes, that's actually not the right way to run a race, because typically you run your race and you just run as fast as you can regardless. But when you get to a certain level, you are going to have to determine like the way in which you move and the way in which you preserve your energy based on your competitors, because you got a lot more races to run. So it can get a lot more, it just isn't always as simple as just run your own race. So I get it. I hear what you're saying. The key to me is really getting grounded and establishing like what is your own thesis. That's why like with this song, I can understand why these young women feel this way, but ultimately it's like you got to establish in you what type of woman you are and be able to be grounded enough in that to be like, "Oh, nigga, that's what you want? Well, go get that, cuz that ain't me and I'm cool with that." And that's the goal that we have to really all be striving towards, I think, is being able to get grounded in what we really are about and be unshakable in it, get rooted in it, and so that whenever the wind blows, and listen, the winds of change in this social media world and just in society in terms of what's hot and what's not, those winds of change are happening all the time. There's Mary Poppinses coming in on the new winds of change all the time. But you got to still be grounded and know that like no matter how those winds blow, you still going to be good. You're not going to be uprooted and supplanted somewhere else where you have to now get accustomed to a different climate. So it's really that you learn from others by paying attention to how what they're doing is valuable in what you're doing. And if it's not valuable, you can still congratulate. You can still acknowledge. But if it is valuable, you synthesize that into your own space while still making space to say that's dope that they did that. And I had a tough time with that at first when I moved to LA. I will not lie to you. And a friend told me, you're not going to get where you want to go until you start facing the reality of your jealousy and until you can genuinely look at somebody else and be like, good for them, while still knowing what's good for you. And by looking at what they're doing and not seeing it as like um a sign of what you haven't accomplished, but by seeing it as inspiration of what you're going to accomplish.